Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ollie Rodriguez-Domin and I am an avid hip-hop vinyl collector, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you a little bit through my collection and showing you the most expensive records in my collection. In fact, this is actually the top 10 most expensive in my collection. Before I do get into this video though, I do just want to give a quick shout out because I got my inspiration for this video from someone called SimplyLillie. She's another well-known vinyl collector in the community, and despite having very different music taste to her, I do really like her content and what she puts out, so quick shout out to her, because without her video I would probably not be making this one. Check her channel out in the description. And as always, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're practically at 900 now. I'm probably going to start looking at recording the 1,000 sub special video, which, in case you don't know, is going to be my entire vinyl collection. But anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's begin with the first one in my collection, which is going to be Eminem, Music to be Murdered by Side A. And I think what's important with this is I need to kind of mention how I'm kind of deciding what's the most expensive. I'm basing it off of the maximum price that Discogs gives me. However, Discogs isn't completely to be trusted. Obviously, like, it's kind of giving you an example of what it could be. It's also, just because you select the maximum doesn't mean that is the value of what you have brought. But on top of that, I've kind of done a little bit of small research going on, say, eBay or reseller sites, and just seeing how much the average vinyl is that I have got. And the first one we have is this one with Eminem with Music to be Murdered by. Now this one isn't just like the regular one you get. This is a limited edition version for two reasons. You get the splatter disc for one. Honestly, probably one of my favourite splatter discs in my collection. And second of all, you may not be able to notice it at first, but this is actually a variant cover. And the only way you can really tell by that is if you compare this Eminem to what you actually get on, say, streaming platforms. So to put you in the ballpark of where we're sort of looking for this one, Discogs estimates this vinyl to be around about £101. Oh yeah, I'm from the UK by the way, so we're doing this in pounds. If you want to figure out how much it is in USD, you go right ahead. Nice and simple, nice one to start us off with. £100, Music to be Murdered by. The next one is Kamikaze Picture Disc, and this one is actually around about the same as the Eminem Music to be Murdered by vinyl. And with this one, you could either find it for just a bit cheaper than this one, or you could find it for just a bit more. So I kind of decided to put this at number 9. In case you don't know what it is, basically it is a picture disc where you get the Kamikaze plane. On one side you get the ringer, on the other side you get Lucky You. So this one overall is kind of in a range of either £90 or about £110. Discogs says about 110, so that's what we're saying for this one, around about just over 100. Right, I'm going to get this one out of the way because I kind of want to get past the Eminem stuff. If you want to go and see the Eminem stuff in a bit more detail, there's a whole playlist on my channel you can check out right there, and it will show you all the Eminem stuff, and you can take a bit more of a look at records like this. This is the 8 Mile soundtrack on the 20th anniversary, and there's a load of different stuff in here that you can go and check out and look in that video that I did for this. Now with this, I actually think you can still buy it at like a retailer value or even on discount. And I'm pretty sure I've seen it on discount for about £120. At full, I think it's about £150. I might have just lied, but on Discogs it actually says it's £120. So a little bit higher up. We're kind of like slowly getting that up by £10 each time. So this one, honestly, I really like the layout of it and everything. In terms of the soundtrack, it's cool. I like it, but end of the day, there are probably better projects that I would have liked from Eminem to have this style of design. So what number are we at? We're at number 7. Also, I have to say, you will see my hair get sweatier throughout this entire video. Like, when I record, I have to close my window, and currently, just randomly in the UK, we are having a heat wave. I'm doing this a bit later at night as well. So please, now I've probably said it out loud, you're gonna notice it more, but back to the video. We have OutKast with Aquemini. And this one was actually a 2023 limited edition thing that came out. The thing that's basically special about this, I'll try my best to show it, but you are left with 3 LPs in this one, and they all have a different colour. So, first off we have this like translucent green. Then we have a translucent pink, and finally we also have a almost transparent yellow. How much is it? This one's actually just edging from the previous one that I just showed you, and it's still kind of around that £120 sort of range. I put it above 8 Mile mainly because 8 Mile you can actually kind of find it at better prices, or at least just a little less than this one. So this one edges out on that one. It's again around £120, and when looking for it, that's the same sort of price as what Discogs is saying. So Aquemini, 120. Okay, so number 6 is 50 Cent with Get Rich or Die Trying. A certain variation of it. And I will be honest, when I first looked at it on Discogs, it was kind of on the higher end tier of things. And on Discogs, it was saying around about £140. So that's sort of like, it got my expectations a bit like, oh, this is actually quite a decent one. Quite pricey, actually a pretty decent profit for what I brought it for, which was about £50. That's something I probably should include with all the other ones, although I'll be honest, me and my goldfish brain probably couldn't remember how much I spent on them in the first place. So we'll just say about retail value for everything I've mentioned before, but bringing up to these next ones, I'll try and remember how much I spent on them. But this variation of Get Rich or Die Trying is the Iron Man variant. Now, when I first looked this up on Discogs, I was still taken away by the price that this had gone up to. When I then went onto eBay, I at first, let me just put that in there, I at first almost shat myself when I saw how much someone was selling this for. Because it was about 800 something quid. And at first my heart sort of dropped like, there's no way I own that. And there's not, because basically that was actually signed by 50 Cent. And I guess there must have been a limited run of these or something that had actually been signed by 50 Cent that definitely skyrocketed the price of that one up, because I found others for like 400, 500 or something like that. But after being able to sort of actually find just a regular version, non-signed, we found ourselves just the regular variation of Get Rich Die Trying Iron Man edition, and it was about 140 quid. So again, it's up again, we're sort of moving slowly up just by 10 at the moment. So 50 Cent Iron Man variant of Get Rich Die Trying, one of the hardest covers in rap as well, and this one just adds to it. This is my 6th most expensive record in my collection. But now let's move on to the 5th. And with this one, we're obviously moving into the top 5, and this is one of my favorites that I've been able to get, because at first I almost didn't get it, and now we're looking at like the retail value of things. I think it's important for me to mention I got this one for about 40, maybe 50 quid at a push. And this is obviously Across the SpiderVerse, produced by Metro Boomin. One of the best projects of last year, and in case you want to know what was so special about this one, there are 2 versions of the disc, and the first one is basically Night Prowler, is that his name? I'm having a brain fart. Night Prowler. Or the Prowler. Is it just the Prowler? I think it's just the Prowler. But you basically get Prowler inspired colours, but then you also have a polka dot one, which I actually don't remember this one being that impressive. Yeah, this is like one of those bad examples of a pressing. You literally, you make your own mind up what that looks like. We'll just say spilt milk for now. But I mean, if you look on the other side, it's literally just got a white rim. I almost didn't include in this video because on Discogs, it actually only said it was about £70. And when I first saw it, I just thought, whatever, okay, 70 quid, that makes sense. But then I sort of thought about it and I was like, hang on, this was one of the hardest ones for me to get. It was very in demand. I was only able, just by luck, to be able to get it. I wonder how much it costs on eBay. And there's a couple of these out there. This is £150. So technically on this, I've made about 120 quid profit, I think. Around that number, which I think is pretty impressive for this one. And to be honest, rightfully so, it's an incredible album, an incredible vinyl, and if you are able to get this one, good luck. I mean that in the most least dickhead way possible, but this is sick. I really like this one. Okay, so number 4, the Eminem Show, but not how you know it, it's how I know it. The 20th anniversary. Now this one actually, I don't think has actually really gone up in value since I brought it. I feel like this is going to have to take a little bit more time for it to increase its value. But essentially, it's still around the £150 sort of price range in terms of now and trying to rebuy it. Discogs says this one's about 170, which is why it's at this point in the list. And in some instances that is true, but for the majority, it's around more 150. But when I was talking about the whole 8 Mile thing and kind of like being like, yeah, it's cool to have that edition of a vinyl like that and have like the design it has, it was like the music for me, it's not really there. It's not like an Eminem project. Everyone's like, oh, the 8 Mile soundtrack, yeah, gotta have it. It's not like that effect. The Eminem Show, on the other hand, that's one that you want to have. And this is one that has, again, that sort of booklet sort of feel to it. Again, go check out the video of this one. It'll be up there somewhere around this video. You can go and watch it. And that makes this the 4th most expensive in my vinyl collection. But we are now moving into the top 3. And at number 3, originally I thought this was number 1, but I was basing that off Discogs at first. Then I decided, no, have a look. And this is Logic with Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I brought this one for around about, I'm gonna say, between 40 to 60 pounds, because I think that's including shipping. And this would have been the first project from Logic that I was able to pre-order at a launch of an album, because that was when I was kind of like into Logic at the time, or when I had already gotten into his music. Whereas for other previous projects I wasn't a fan of yet, or I hadn't discovered his music yet even. So this was my first sort of proper Logic album that I got on a launch. Some people might say that's a bad thing. When you hear the price of it, might change your mind. Although I don't want to set up too much expectation on that, because this is still around about the £150 mark. Although I'd say it's probably closer to 160 than it is 150. There's actually nothing special about this record. Then it's going to become more of a limited thing, harder to find, etc. Inflates the value of stuff. And Logic never re-released this, and it's obviously one of his, probably what a lot of people would instantly go to as his worst project, which is probably why it's so high in value. And unfortunately for me, one of the things I find with Logic is his vinyls just, like, for someone who has probably some of the best artwork, some of the best album covers in rap, or just in music in general, like, even this is a cover, like, some people won't fuck with it, but I do. But like, when you open it up, it's literally just stripes, and then the bag is just boring. And then even on top of that, there's no like cool inserts or anything. And I know there was a lot of artwork done around Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and I don't get why you couldn't spread it out on here like an actual cool thing where you open it. It's almost like files, and or like music computer screens download, something like that. But no, we just get the Rainbow Road. I don't fucking know. And then you also have the discs, which just have a little bit of a funky, different colour that's, again, with the stripe theme just on the middle bit. You could have at least made these colours, these records. That would actually be cool records if they were those colours. Where did I put the thing? Oh, I was looking for the sleeve. This is the sleeve. Oh, I'm tired. It's currently gone 9 o'clock. I don't even know. It's 20 to 10, man. Why am I recording a video at 20 to 10 on a school night? A work night, you know what I mean. So, if you've been following the channel for a minute, we are back to another Eminem edition. And you all know, the main thing I'm about to show is from the latest video I put out on channel, which you can go and watch there. And that is of the Slim Shady Zoetrope, aka the 25th anniversary of the Slim Shady LP. Here is the magical box. I don't want to go through the effort of opening this just because I have made, it's like my most recent video. It's actually done super well on YouTube. Thank you everyone who has watched it. It's actually still currently my 1 out of 10 videos performance wise. So please keep helping it, doing as well as it is, and go and watch that video. This is actually my most expensive record I have put money into buying. And just to sum it up, it's cost me about 300 quid to get this one. However, as a record, it's about £200 by itself. And the reason that extra 100 was added on there is 1, shipping fee, and 2, technically another shipping fee, but it was just a customs charge or something like that. So for that reason, it inflated this a lot more to what it is. I am kind of expecting this one in, let's say 5 years, maybe 2 years even, around that sort of range. By 5 years time, I'm imagining this one would have picked up its price a lot more, and it should, in theory, jump to my #1 in terms of most expensive record. However, you can still get this on the Eminem store for the retail price, okay? And even at retail, it is mega expensive for a record. But I am expecting when, or even if, that record comes off, I'm expecting it to go up a little bit, but when that happens is yet to be seen. So for now, it remains at #2 because I have one that is actually worth more than it. And this is from an artist that is not Eminem based. And before I show you what it is, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video so far, and subscribe for more content. But the #1 most expensive record in my collection is The Weeknd with House of Balloons, some certain edition of it. I actually need to figure out what this one is actually called. I ordered this a long time ago. It actually might be the one record that I actually like waited the longest to get here. That's what it is. It's a reimagined cover artwork by Daniel Arsham, so I'm assuming that's an artist. And obviously this is one of The Weeknd's like most infamous projects in terms of what got him on the map. And for me, I think this must have cost around, I'm gonna say, just to get it must have been around £100, maybe 120. But if I'm being real, I'm fairly certain I had ordered this before I went to university, and it arrived after I dropped out, and I only dropped out after a year, so it wasn't like a whole 3 years or anything. But there was a good year in waiting for this. I even got to a point where I was worried, like, did I send it to the wrong address? And then I found out they had done like 2 shipments of it, where they had shipped out the first, like, say, 100 people or whoever had ordered it, and then did the rest later. But no, it had just taken a long time to get to my house. And I know what you're asking. It's the whole reason we came to this video. Ollie, how much does this one cost? This is my most expensive record, and it cost £250. And again, I do need to switch this one out. It has been a long time since I've actually opened it out of its sleeve, but I will give you guys a little gander at this one. I do believe I have definitely a TikTok on it, but I cannot say if I got an actual video on it. But more than anything, I just love the simplicity of this record. I love how it just sort of like has that white silver effect. I feel like the disc might have been a kind of transparent one. On the sleeve you sort of get like the Weeknd sort of XO logos as well. That's right. So this must be one of the like crispest transparent records I have. Like, if you look at it, it actually looks like a bubble that I'm holding. Like, I don't think I can explain the difference between something like this and say like my bootleg Eminem transparent one, because you can, just in person, you can see the difference so clear. But it's such a nice one to be able to add, and it's one that I will not be playing. Out of fear of ruining it, especially on my suitcase record, which by the way I will change out at some point. And I'm sure some of you will quite correctly say, well, Ollie, you could have just brought a new record player if you didn't get Eminem Slim Shady. But you know what? Shush. You bush. So these 2 are my most expensive records in my collection. Number 2, Slim Shady LP, and number 1, The Weeknd with House of Balloons variant cover. I can't exactly remember, but I do believe there was, well, obviously there was a limited number of these. I feel like, I don't want to say 1,000, otherwise I think that would have been more. I do actually remember there's another edition, not of House of Balloons, I can't remember what it was, it might have been After Hours. But they literally released like a saw of The Weeknd's album. And trust me, I thought about it, but then I realised they were literally just making an auction of it. So I was never in with a chance again. No, I'm not that dumb. Maybe when we become a famous YouTuber rapper person, maybe then we'll look at it. But for now, this is the most expensive in my collection. I want to thank you all very much for taking the time to watch this video. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I am sorry about my sway forehead. Trust me, it's the bane of my existence right now, just walking to work. Let's try and survive this summer heat wave together. Otherwise, I've been Ollie Rodriguez-Stallman. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, again, I know I'm going on about it right now. You might want to click off the video already, but just press that subscribe button, because I really want to get my 1,000 video special out for you guys, because I'm sure you would love to see every record in my collection. I'm going to have to think carefully about how I go about showing the records. At the moment, I'm sort of debating, do I literally go, here's this one, here's this one, here's the next one. I don't know whether to do it just like that, or to just sort of go like, I like this one, this is why, or, and then like show a little bit of the inside, maybe skip a couple just so it's not completely like a 4-hour or like the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. I feel like that would probably be the best way to go about it, just showing a little bit of like the ones I have something to say about, and then just skipping over the ones that people really don't care about that much. But that was my top 10 most expensive records in my vinyl collection. Thank you again for watching. I've been Ollie Rodriguez-Stallman. Take care, have a good day. Later.